Hello students, I'm recording this video so that I can do a very quick summary on what are some of the source-based case studies question types that we have learned in these 2 years in Sec 3 and Sec 4. What can come up for prelim O levels. So I'm going to revise the skill types rather quickly. Okay, and I'm going to separate these videos into different videos. So one video for one skill type. All right, and to do this revision, it'll be good for you to have your revision booklet with you, because today I'm going to use revision booklet set 5 to just go through all the different skill types you all have learned. All right, and SBCS set 5, in case you're wondering, is page 30. All right, so you have it with you at any point in time. If you need to pause to read the source, feel free to pause my video at any time. If you need to read what I'm annotated on my Word document here, feel free to pause anytime to take your own notes. If you don't understand certain things, pause, rewind, watch it a few times to clarify. Okay, and if you still have any other further questions, do approach me or your SS teachers. All right, so let's start with set 5. So this first video is going to be the most basic skill, which is inference. Okay, so for inference, I'm gonna, okay, so this is set 5. Okay, it's about living in a diverse society. And if you look at set 5, the topic is about whether government should restrict immigration. All right, so I'm going to use this set 5 for my series of video. Okay, and if you look at the question types, there are more questions than usual because I added in a few questions in case you are wondering. Okay, so that I can explore the different skills. So I added a purpose question. I also added a normal reliability question. Okay, so that I can go through them later. All right, so in case you're wondering how come you have this question booklet, yeah, I added it. Okay, so this first video I'm going to cover question 1. Okay, just the very basic. Okay, what can you infer from the source, or sometimes what is the message? So message, okay, is basically a type of inference. Okay, we sometimes call it the main inference. All right, so I'm going to teach you some quick hacks. Okay, so what is the message of this source? Explain your answer using details from the cartoon. Okay, so it's going to be a cartoon, and I need to guess something from the source, the message, and I'm going to try and find evidence to help me make that guess. Okay, so as I always tell my class, all right, what is the message of the source? Before I even read the source, sometimes I can start to pinpoint and guess what is the possible message. How do I do it? Okay, because I can rely on this what we call the topic or the inquiry question. Okay, so this is the overarching question that applies to all the sources. That means all the sources will be talking about something about this. So in this case, whether government should restrict immigration. All right, so why did I say this is useful? Because this topic, should government restrict immigration, like I said, it applies to all the sources. So the message, the purpose, what they are similar in, okay, some of it, whether it's restricting immigration, some of it applies to here. What do I mean by that? So what is the message of the source? Just now I say, how can I guess the answer? So the message of the source, without even look at the source, based on this topic, I know the source is going to say something about whether government should restrict immigration. So I can even start to guess that maybe the source main message is government should restrict immigration because of reason so and so and so forth. Or maybe the message could be government should not restrict immigration because so on and so forth, with your own reason. So by using the topic, you can see I start to narrow down what is the message of the source really. Okay, so before you even read the source, I will strongly advise you, okay, besides reading the topic, okay, you should also do your background information. Why? Because the sources, they will be covering maybe new topics that you have never encountered before. Maybe you are not as well read, up to date with the news as some of your friends. So by reading the background information, it should help you to understand what the sources are trying to say. Okay, so should government restrict immigration? So let's not even do question 1 first. Let me tell you how to understand the background information. Should government restrict immigration? So it could be reasons why they should or why they should not. So reading the background information, I can start to find some points on why government should restrict immigration and why government should not restrict immigration. So I'm going to highlight using different colors. So let's read together. Immigration refers to the movement of people from one country to another country. So this is just defining what is immigration if you don't know what is immigration, okay? But we haven't talked. So movement of people from one country to another where they are not citizens. Opposition to immigrants, okay? I start to find some clues on why immigration should be restricted already, okay? Opposition to immigrants exists in all countries with immigration and has become a significant political and social issue in many countries. So they are saying immigration, there are some resistance, but we haven't found out why they are resisting. So let's read on. Some critics of immigration, okay, here we are getting onto something. Some critics of immigration argue that the presence of immigrants may distort and dilute the national identity, culture, and tradition of the native population. Okay, let's use say red color. Okay, let's use red words. Okay, so this immigrants, they may dilute the national identity. That means they come in, they bring their own culture. Locals lose a bit of their own culture and so on. Some people also give economic arguments, concentrate on competition for employment. Okay, so they may think immigrants are here to compete with you for jobs. So some people therefore think we should restrict it. And a higher burden some group of immigrants may impose on welfare system. Okay, so they may impose on the social welfare system, health system, housing, and public schools, meaning they might use up maybe some of your healthcare facilities. They may use up your social welfare. That means maybe they take financial aid from the government, so the government has lesser for the citizens. They may be taking up precious space in your housing. They may be taking up precious slots in your public schools. Okay, so these are the gist of some of the reasons why people want to restrict immigration. So why is it important to read the background information? Because later on, if you read the sources, some of the sources will be talking about some of the points here. So when you know that these are the sort of the main reasons, right, against immigration, later when you read the source, you encounter them, hopefully it means you are less confused. You kind of understand, you see it coming, all right? So it's helpful. So this paragraph have been talking about why they should restrict immigration. So naturally, the next paragraph, I can start to guess, maybe they want to tell me why they should not restrict immigration. So let's highlight some of the points. Okay, however, immigration, if managed properly, can make a country materially, economically, and culturally richer. So let's change to green. So immigrations can make a country richer, including richer in culture as well as the economy. The developed countries of the world see immigration as the solution to low birth rate and aging population. So they are saying the immigrants, they may come in and, because maybe people in, like say, Singapore are not having enough kids, the immigrants can come in, and sort of top up our young population. Immigration can help to solve the problems of a diminishing consumer market, increasingly unstable and aging workforce, and the dependency on foreigners to take up lower skilled jobs. These problems will affect a country's economic development. Furthermore, the exchange of culture, okay, brought about interesting outcomes in fashion, music, and food. So they're saying maybe immigration is a good idea because it creates more. They bring with them their own culture, and they make fashion, music, and food very interesting. Case in point, Singapore, our Chinese immigrants, they bring in mala. So a lot of Singaporeans nowadays, they love mala. Yeah, I can tell you authoritatively, 10 years ago, I never seen mala in Singapore before. Okay, so now it's everywhere. Countries founded on immigration like America, Singapore, and New Zealand have traditionally welcomed immigrants with open immigration policies. Okay, so yeah, so some of the things I managed to highlight. So they can help us with our consumer market. That means if the population is shrinking, we lose customers. So we bring in more immigrants. There are more people, there are more customers. It's good for business. That's what they're saying. Increasingly unstable aging workforce. We mentioned this already. If there are too many old people, we might not have enough young people to work. So bringing in some young people through immigration may be helpful. All right, so this is unpacking the background information. It'll be good practice for you when you do your prelims, your O-level, to also do a quick unpacking of the background information. Okay, because you might find some of these points. Maybe the source wouldn't mention it like directly like this, but so you get the words, you get the vocabulary to help you analyze the source later. Right, so let's go back to question 1. Sorry, I digress. So what is the message of this source? Just now I mentioned, okay, we can use the topic. Okay, so I can start to guess already. Maybe the message of source A is that government should restrict immigration, or maybe message of source A is government should not restrict immigration because so and so forth. So we're going to find out which of it is the case, and let's analyze the source now. All right, so let's bear it in mind. Will source A tell me to restrict immigration or not? And what's the reason? So let's look at source A. A cartoon post on cartoon posted on an American newspaper as a response to President Donald Trump's immigration policy on limiting immigration into America 2018. So we are talking about America, Donald Trump's American president. What is his thought of immigration? So we see a cartoon here. Donald Trump in the middle. He is having a lawnmower. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary so far. We have a place called Mar-a-Lago at the back, which is a resort owned by President Trump and used to host meetings. Nothing ordinary. So what is it? Where will we get workers if we keep out immigrants? So at first glance, when I read this, it seems to tell me immigration is very important, because if I don't have immigrants, I won't have workers. So let's read on whether it's the truth. So here we see a few people in the background of this golf course. Thanks a lot, Dad. Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump, are married to Ivanka Trump. Okay, so we see Donald Trump's immediate family at the back. Okay, so looking at this cartoon, it's an American newspaper as a response to Donald Trump's immigration policy on limiting immigration. So they are saying, okay, Donald Trump wanted to limit immigration to America. Okay, that is Donald Trump's policy. But source A, which is this cartoon, what is the view on immigration? Remember, should the government restrict immigration according to source A? Okay, Donald Trump wanted to limit immigration, and this American newspaper cartoonist want to reply to Donald Trump. And from at first glance, I can see, okay, now Donald Trump, president, right, he's made to do all the mowing of the grass by himself. His son-in-law, his daughter also seems to have to do chores, and he seems to be saying, thanks a lot, Dad. Okay, so at first glance, you should be able to tell that this is some sort of sarcasm. You can see Donald Trump doesn't look very happy. Jared Kushner doesn't look happy. Ivanka Trump doesn't look very happy. Where will we get workers if we keep our immigrants? So I was proven right. This seems to show that therefore immigration is very important. All right. So okay. So I can use the topic, and now I guess the message is government should not restrict immigration. Okay, because if we restrict immigration, we will not have enough workers to support the economy, and maybe Americans have to work extra hard or something like that. Okay, and I can explain it in the source. Okay, I'm going to stop share this source for a while and show you roughly the template. Okay, so this is also part of your revision booklet. Okay, in the subsequent videos, I'm going to visit this again. Okay, so this is on page 9. So you can see inference template is quite straightforward. I can infer from source A, or in this case, the message. I can infer from source A that the message is, okay, what's the message? Government should not restrict immigration because, we need the workers. Workers are very important. I know this because the source just now told me, okay, Donald Trump have to do the manual work himself when he limited his immigration. And then after that, I explain what the source means, or in this case, I explain what the cartoon means. Okay, so now I'm going to show you very quickly the sample answer so that this video is not too long. Okay, so if I show you the sample answer, let's look at this part together with me. Okay, the message, I can infer that the message of the source is to criticize President Donald Trump immigration as it will negatively impact the economy or industries, and America should not restrict immigration. So you see, this part was what I said in the topic, right? Just now the topic asked whether government should restrict or not. So the message clearly indicate, okay, it should not restrict immigration. And in this case, it's also good to sometimes go beyond the topic a little bit. So topic say should or should not, right? Okay, so I should not. Why? Because it will negatively impact the economy or industries. Okay, so the evidence from the source, Okay, this is the inference. Okay, using the topic to help you. Evidence. The source shows President Donald Trump and family mowing the lawn at President Trump's resort. If you want car tracing, text a lot that. The customer also had a caption saying, where will you get workers if you kill our immigrants? So this whole chunk is your evidence. Okay, I'm just going to color it. It's your evidence. And the cartoonist, now we try to explain what the cartoon means, what the evidence we just mentioned means. So remember, if there are words to quote in the source, use quotation marks. If there is no words, it's a cartoon without a lot of words. Didn't describe what you see in the cartoon using your own words. Okay. So I explained how does it show that we should not restrict immigration, because the cartoonist is trying to mock President Donald Trump's policy by portraying President Trump working in these low-skilled jobs like housekeeping and resort maintenance to show that he would also have to suffer the negative consequence of his immigration policies. So Americans do not want to work in such low-skilled jobs. Therefore, we need to depend on immigrants to fill out these jobs like housekeeping and resort maintenance. So basically saying, therefore, we need immigrants, or else we'll end up doing a lot of low-skilled jobs. You'll affect our economy, you'll affect our industries, you'll affect the jobs we do. All right. So this is for inference. Okay. So let me just switch back to the question real quick. So okay, so inference question is quite straightforward. Okay, what can you infer from the source? What can you tell from the source? What can you conclude from the source? What is the message of the source? All these are your basic inference questions, which is one paragraph, straightforward. How long should you take it? Okay, as I told you before, okay, for every 1 mark, you should take about 2 minutes X maximum, because you have about 100 minutes, 105 minutes in your SS paper. So 5 minutes. 5 marks, you should take no more than 10 minutes to write 1 paragraph answer. All right, so this is video 1. In the next video, I'm going to cover the next few questions. All right, I will see you in the next videos. Bye bye.